So hi there and welcome to the Yoga Office channel. My name is Anne Rijkens and today I'm going to guide you through a very gentle yoga practice. This one you can do at any time of the day. So it's nice when you have a day in which you feel a bit off to start your day with, but also nice to end your day with before you go to bed. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this practice as much as I do. So let's get started. And we're going to start at the back of our mats, coming in a child's pose. So come in on the back of your mat with your feet together. Your knees a bit wider than your hips, maybe even at the width of your shoulders. You're going to come to your fingertips, and from there you're going to crawl forward with the hands, keeping your hips attached to your heels, and just keep walking until you cannot walk any further. Once you reach that point, you come to the fingertips, you're going to elevate through the chest, lengthening from the sit bones to the top of your head. And then as you exhale, slide all the way down, resting your forehead down to the mat. Now, if you notice there's space between your head and the mat, or when you try to get your head down, that your hips lift off your heels, what you can do is grab a book or a block, slide it underneath your forehead just to find a little bit of elevation in the upper body. So make sure you lay comfortable. Relax the arms down. Relax the shoulders. Just take a moment here to tune into your breath as you feel the belly rise and fall on the breath. Now if you want to, you can even circulate the air through the back of the throat, coming into a gentle Ujjayi breath, breathing with sound to the back of the throat. And also notice how the ribs expand to the sides and to the back as you inhale. And notice how the ribs move back in as you exhale. Also noticing the body is getting softer and softer at the end of each exhale. Melting closer and closer to the mat with the heart and the armpits. Just a few more breaths here. Good, and start working your forehead over the mat left to right. Just softly massaging the muscles on the front of your skull, on the forehead. Good, and from here come back to the fingertips, press down through the fingers as you elevate your chest as you inhale. Looking up between your hands, and then as you exhale, curl your hands over towards the left. And then as you exhale, fold over your left thigh. You can either keep your hands where they're at, or you can place your right hand on top of the left. Just nicely stretching out the whole right side of your waist. Relax the head and neck. Let's take a few more breaths here. So we start slowly, gently. Good. As you inhale, curl the hands back to center. And then as you exhale, curl over to the other side. Again, you can keep your hands where they're at, or place your left hand on top of right as you fold over your right thigh. Good. Find your way back to center. Now staying on your hands, press your palms down, stand, roll over towards your hands and knees. As you inhale, Roll your knees a bit forward probably until they're right underneath your hips and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. On the next inhale, you're going to lift your sit bones up. Move your belly down, lift your chest, lift your head, looking forward and up. Exhale, sit bones down, pull your belly in towards your spine, lift your chest away from the mat, and then tuck your chin to the throat as you point your crown to the ground. Inhale, reverse the motion, sit bones up, moving vertebra by vertebra. Lift your head, look up between the eyebrows. And then exhale as you round through the spine again. Inhale, sit bones up, belly down, chest lifts. Roll the inner elbows forward, looking up. Exhale again, reverse. Really press the shoulders away from the mat. And then inhale, coming back to neutral spine. Suck your navel into your spine. And then from here, we're going to sit back with tuck the toes. Lift the hips up. Coming into our first downward facing dog of the class. So this first one, you're just going to hold here for a few breaths. Lift your sit bones up to the ceiling. As you press back down through the base knuckles with the index fingers, allow your head to get heavy, neck to relax and soften. Now from here, roll over your toes, drop down towards the knees, arch your back again as you inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the feet together, stretch it back into child pose, this time with the knees closer together. Inhale, roll forward back to hands and knees, little arch in your back as you come up, a little rounding in your back as you come up, and then exhale, lift your sit bones up again, downward facing dog. Roll over your toes, coming to hands and knees, arch your back as you inhale. Exhale, toes behind you, come back to child's pose. Again, inhale towards hands and knees, tuck your toes into the mat, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. And then roll back towards hands and knees, arch the back, inhale. Exhale, feet together, back to child's pose. Now this time as you inhale, coming back to all fours, tuck your toes into the mat, lift your legs off the ground as you come into a plank on your exhale. So stomach firm, press your chest away from the mat, from the floor, and then roll the inner biceps forward. Press down still through the base knuckles with the index fingers. Legs are strong. And lift your kneecaps. Make sure you're not hanging in your spine. You're also not lifting your hips too high. Just like a plank, like really straight from heels towards ground. Few more breaths here, just to fire up the core. Good. And from here, drop your knees. Slowly make your way down, keeping your elbows close to the ribs until you land onto your belly. Release the tops of your feet, press down through the upper part of the legs, roll the shoulders away from your hips, hands next to your chest, coming up as you inhale. Just a little hover, so don't straighten the arms right away, just focus on strengthening the glutes and the low back and squeezing the elbows to the side ribs. Keep your chin tucked. And so don't jab your head up, but just keep everything nice and firm as you lengthen through the back of the neck. One more breath, inhale, lifting a little higher, just a little bit. And then exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes into the mat. Lift up from the knees, coming back to plank, inhale. And then exhale, elevate your hips again, back to downward facing dog. Now whenever we come to our downward dogs, especially if this is the first practice of the day, you can always have a bend in the knees. Now just focus on lengthening from the sit bones towards your palms instead. And when you feel that the back of the legs are getting warmed up, you can play around with lowering your heels a little further, maybe lifting your toes gently. Good. Now from here, roll back forward to a high plank as you inhale. On the exhale, lower down to your knees. Slowly release your chest down to the mat. Release the tops of your feet, roll the shoulders back, inhale, cobra, legs fully charged. Exhale, tuck your toes into the mat. Lift your hips up back to downward facing dog. We do that cycle 2 more times. Roll forward, high plank, inhale. Exhale from the knees or maybe from the toes, lower all the way down. Release the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale, toes to the mat. Downward facing dog. Last cycle, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come to cobra, squeeze the elbows in. And then exhale, back to downward facing dog. Now on your next inhale, lift your right leg up, keeping your hips even. And then exhale, point your toes, step your foot between your hands. Come to the fingertips as you release down towards your left knee and the upper part of the left foot. Come halfway lift. Upper body straight, parallel with the walls. Now on your next inhale, reach both arms up. And then as you exhale, sit a little deeper into your hips. We're going to hold this posture. Just reach up strong with the fingers to the ceiling. As you sit down with your hips towards the mat. Make sure you're not hanging, like arching in your low back. And keep your hips pointing straight down instead. Both legs are equally working in this posture, so you feel the upper part of the left foot pressing down into the floor. See if you can move your little toe towards the ground actually as well. Good. Now one more reach. Inhale, shift your gaze up between your hands. And then as you exhale, bring your fingertips down to the mat. Straighten through the front leg, flex your foot. And then inhale, lift your chest, send the sit bones back. As you exhale, fold your upper body over your right leg. Release the head and release the neck. And so find an even balance of the hips here by kind of lifting up through the left hip, left thigh, and then sending the right sit bone back and down. And also helps you to engage your belly muscles, your core, to find that stability. Good. Now from here, bring the band back into that leg. Palms pressing flat next to your right foot. Tuck your toes into the mat. Lift your left leg up. Inhale. Right leg lifts, coming back to single leg downward dog. And then exhale, set that foot down next to left. Back to just traditional downward dog. Now go to the other side. Lift your left leg. Inhale. Step the left foot between your hands. Release the right knee and the right foot. Come halfway lifts. Inhale, reach up through both arms strong. And then exhale, sit a little deeper into your hips. Really root down through that right upper foot. And press down through the sole of your left foot. Keeping your toes light. Shoulders relaxed and light as well. Fingertips reaching up strong. And soften all the muscles in your face. Relax your jaw, your tongue. The muscles behind the eyes. One more inhale, reach up, look up. And then hands down, exhale, straighten through the left leg. Lift your torso, inhale, flat back. And then exhale, fold over your leg as you send your left sit bone back and down. So same principles on this side as to the other leg. So square and even out your hips. Moving that right hip, lifting a bit up and forward. Left sit bone down and back. Few breaths here. Good. Now from here, crawl back forward. Plant your left foot flat. Your palms flat in line with your left foot. Straighten through the right leg. So you come into a low lunge rock. Inhale. Lift up through the left leg. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to roll over the toes, coming back to hands and knees. Arch the back on the inhale. Exhale, send the feet together, coming back to child's pose. Now we're going to turn that into a little flow. So on the inhale, roll forward towards hands and knees. Toes are in the mat, downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift up through the right leg, inhale. Right foot steps between your hands, exhale, trap the knee, the foot, come halfway up. Inhale, retract through both arms, send the hips down. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, fold your torso over it. Palms are flat, right foot flat, tuck your left toes, inhale, back to single leg down dog, lift your heel to the ceiling. And then exhale, set your right foot down next to left, switching legs, inhale, left leg up. And exhale, left foot between hands, knees come down, foot comes down. Inhale, reach out through the arms. Exhale, straighten the left leg, fold over it. Bring the bend back, palms flat, tuck the right toes, inhale, three leg down dog. And exhale, back to normal downward dog. Roll over your toes, inhale, arch your back. Exhale with the feet together, coming back to child's pose. One more cycle like that. Inhale, hands and knees, toes into the mat, downward facing dog. Lift your right leg, inhale. Step it through, exhale, knee foot down, halfway lift. Arms reach up strong, inhale. For this last one, maybe shifting the gaze up. And then exhale, straighten the front leg. Palms flat, tuck your toes, inhale, lift up through the right leg. Set it back down, exhale. Lift your left leg, inhale. Step it through, exhale, knee and foot come down, halfway lift. Inhale, maybe shift the gaze up. And exhale, fold over your leg. Palms coming flat, tuck your toes, inhale, single leg, downward dog. And exhale, foot down, downward dog. Roll over the toes, coming back to hands and knees. Arch your back, inhale. Feet come together, exhale, back to child's pose. And just rest here for a few breaths. Just observe the effects of what you just moved through. Both on the body, on the mind, and the breath. Good, on your inhale, roll forward towards hands and knees. Toes into the mat, downward facing dog as you exhale. Again, we're going to lift up through the right leg, inhale. Exhale, the right foot steps through, slide your back foot further back as you come down towards your knee and foot. Reach out through the arms on your inhale. And again, we're going to hold this posture, but with the option to shift the gaze up and maybe bring the palms to a touch. Now, if the palms do touch, see if you can press down through all the corners of your palms together for both hands as you allow the shoulders to sink down into the upper back. Keep sending your sit bones down towards the mat. And exhale, your hands come down. Now stay with your legs where they are. Just place your right elbow on top of the right knee. And then start bending into your left leg. And then see if you can grab hold of the inside of your foot for stage 1. For stage 2, move your foot to the inside of your elbow, the inner elbow. And then the last stage of this one, reach up through the right arm as you inhale. And then as you exhale, see if you can clasp your hands together. Now only go to this last stage if your body really allows you to. So it shouldn't hurt your low back at all. And if you fall out of the posture, don't worry, just come back into it when you feel ready. And definitely also get a bit challenged on your balance with this one. Good. If you did have to bind, reach up through the right arm, inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release your foot and hands back down. Good. Now we have the option to play around with a full split here. So slide your right leg forward and then moving gently here. So always with respect for the body. So either stay on your fingertips here with your back leg pretty much a little bent still. Or if it feels okay for your hips and your legs, you can slide, walk further back with your left leg. Maybe releasing the tops of your toes, the top of your left foot. Climbing your hands back and just working with your breath and using your hands as support here. To how much weight you distribute towards your hips. And so if it feels too deep, just press more into your hands. Now if there's a lot of distance between your hands and the ground, what you can do is place books underneath your hands. Or if you have yoga blocks, you can place yoga blocks underneath your hands as well. And just like we did with having only one leg extended and with the back leg more in, make sure that your hips are even. So also here, just pull that right hip in and down as you move your left hip forward and a bit up. Good. 2 more breaths. And good. From here, climb your hands a bit forward and then heel to your back foot in. Slide your right foot in again. Good. And then both hands on the inside of your right foot as we climb our right foot over until our toes are off the mat, but the heel is still on the mat. So the foot is about 45 degrees out. Release the top of your left foot again. And then you can use your right hand on the inside of your left knee to roll it out. Yeah, so to see it come a bit up. Yeah, so you just stay down, just to give you an idea of where the hand is located. Good. And just breathe through the deep stretch here on the inside of your right hip. If you don't feel that much, you can also come with your hands on the inside, tuck your toes of your left leg, maybe coming down towards your elbows. Wherever you're going to, just make sure your right ankle is straight, as if it's like in a cast. Yeah, so the ankle is like really locked. So lift all of your 5 toes of that right foot. Good. And then slowly come back to your hands. As we come into pigeon pose, so we climb the right foot over towards the left side of the yoga mat. Come down with your hips. And if you notice that your hips are off, so you're kind of leaning towards the right, or if there's a lot of room between your hips and the ground, what you can do is place a book or a couple of books or block underneath your right hip, right sit bone. Good. Now, once you've found your position in which your hips are even, you gotta climb back with your hands. Lift your chest, open your torso. And then as you exhale, walk your hands forward. Maybe coming down towards elbows, maybe coming down towards your forehead. Just find a position that feels comfortable to you. And then keep lengthening from the sit bones to the crown. Each inhale, you feel that lengthening. And each exhale, you feel the deepening of the posture. Two more breaths. Good. Now from here, come back to your hands. Okay, we're going to lean over towards the left hip, right hip, and then we're going to swing the the left leg all the way to the front. So the left leg is out in front. We're going to place the right foot onto the left inner thigh. Just going to rotate to the other side so you can see. Now, so right foot, left inner thigh. Now, if you notice there's room between your, when you're like hanging in your low back, what you can do here is again sit on something like books or block. Now, once you found the position with the hips, you're going to reach up through the arms, inhale. And then with a straight back, you're going to come forward, hinging from the hips, not the low back. And just grab your leg, your foot. You can also have your hands just on the ground, just what you prefer. And then once you found that position, you got to lift the chest on an inhale. And then as you exhale, fold over your left leg. Release the head and release the neck. Now if you do have your hands around your foot, just know that there's still room between your shoulders and your ears. So you're actively pressing the shoulders away from the ears. And so really relaxing the neck and shoulders. Keep rolling the right hip out as you gently press the right foot against the left inner thigh. 2 more breaths. Good. Inhale, lift your chest, look up. Exhale, release your leg if you had it. Good. Now from here we're going to shift over a bit towards the side. So we make now like about 100-degree angle from the hips instead of 90, which we had before. So now most likely if you can get to that angle, your right heel will come to your right inner thigh part and your toes obviously on the left inner thigh part. So our left arm is coming out to the inside of the left leg. Yeah? Good. Now your right hand comes to your right shoulder. Now on an inhale, you're going to roll the right shoulder open. And then as you exhale, extend your right arm over towards your left toes. It doesn't have to get there. If you can, that's good. It's okay. No matter where you are, especially if you are with your fingers to your toes, make sure you're still rolling your ribs open to the ceiling. Open your chest to the ceiling. Each inhale, finding the length. Each exhale, you find the deepening of the posture. Meaning your fingers come a little closer towards your toes, even if it's just a few centimeters, or millimeters even. Last 2 breaths. Good. Inhale, coming up. Reach over with your left hand and then lift your hips for a moment. Yeah, so lengthening through the left side of your body. And then as you exhale, set your left hand down. Tuck your left toes. Inhale back to single leg downward dog. Set your right foot down. Exhale, downward dog. So we're going to do that same things on the other side. So lift your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot between the hands, slide your right knee further back as you release the toes and the knee. Come halfway up. Reach up through both arms as you inhale. And again, the option to shift your gaze up, to bring your palms to a touch. Strongly reaching with the fingertips as you allow the shoulders to sink down. Allow your hips to sit down. Feel how the right leg from the knee towards the upper foot, all the way to the little toe and the big toe, is pressing down into the mat. One more breath in. And exhale. Hands coming down. Good. Now we're going to place the left elbow on top of the left knee. We start bending into the right leg. Grab hold of your right foot with the hands. Now option 2, slide your hands further down so the foot is kind of coming into the inner elbow. Now stay free of this posture. You're going to reach up through the left arm, inhale. And then as you exhale, bend into the arm, bring the hands into a bind. Now if you have the bind, make sure that you even out your chest. And so right shoulder comes a bit forward, left shoulder comes back. Good, inhale, lift up through the left arm. Exhale, set everything back down. Good, now again the option to play around with a full split. So slide your left heel all the way to the front of your mat. So first stage of this posture, just keep your right leg as is. Yeah, so quite a lot of bend here. You can use blocks again underneath your hands if you need extra support here. Good, now if you feel like you can go deeper, just play around with sliding or crawling your right leg further back. Climb back with your hands. So you're kind of in an upright position here. And just breathe your way through this. Make sure you don't jam your full body weight into your hips right away. Yeah, so really be gentle with the hips here. Good, 4 more breaths. Good. Bring your hands back. Slide your both feet back in. Yes. Good. Now with that left knee bent, you're going to climb your toes over towards the left side of your mat. Lift your toes. Keep your ankle completely locked as you start to sickle down to the outer edge of your right foot. You can use your left hand to the inner upper thigh and the inside of your thigh to roll it open. Good, and even you stay here, bring your hands back to the inside of your foot, maybe coming down towards elbows, maybe tucking your toes of your right foot to elevate your hips, also to make a bit more active stretch. And so choose the variation that suits you at this moment. Good. From here, come back to your hands if you were down. Slide your left foot over to the right side of your mat. And then bend your left knee as much as you have to come safely down towards that pigeon pose. If you feel any pain around your knee, now move your leg closer in or use more support underneath your hips. And so maybe books or blocks. Make sure your hips are even in this posture. You're going to climb back to your hands, bring upright pigeon, open your chest. And then as you exhale, walk with the hands forward, folding your torso as far as your body allows you to. Find a position for the arms that feel comfortable. And so either to the forearms, you can extend the arms out in front. Just bend your elbows, placing your head on top of your hands. Just allow your hips to soften. We'll double check if your shoulders are relaxed. Double check if you don't clench your jaw. So just relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. Two more breaths. Good. Come back to your hands. Lean over towards your left hip as you swing the right leg all the way to the front. Place your left foot on the inside of your right leg. Again, sit on the surface if you notice you're hanging backwards. So make sure you're like really sitting straight down from the sit bones. So once you found that position, reach out through the arms, inhale. And then exhale, fold forward, release the head and neck. Finding a position of the hands that suit you, in which you can soften the shoulders and lengthen through the neck. Make sure you feel the left foot, sole of your foot, pressing down into the inside of your right leg. And notice how that helps you to roll the right left hip further out and open. Good. Inhale, look up. Open your chest. And then as you exhale, release your leg or foot. Good. From here, we're going to move open to what's that 100-degree angle from the hips. Placing your left heel, if you can, towards your left inner thigh. Now the right arm comes to the inside of your right leg. Left hand towards your left shoulder. On the inhale, open up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, extend that left arm towards your right toes. Make sure you're not collapsing down with the ribs, but actively open up towards the ceiling. Good. Inhale, coming up. Set your left hand on the ground. Reach up and over with your right arm, straightening to the right leg. And as you exhale, set your hand down, rolling over. Inhale, lift up through your left leg. And then exhale, set your foot back down. So you should be back onto the normal side of the mat, which you started on. Now roll over your toes, come to your hands and knees, arch your back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, cross your legs, roll over your feet. Come to the side of your mat. And then bring the soles of your feet together. Your hands come around your feet. Open your chest as you inhale. And then as you exhale, fold forward over your feet. You can use your elbows pressing against the inner thighs or in your lower legs to move the hips further out and open. Keep lengthening through the back of your neck. Good, inhale, open up your chest, sit upright again. And exhale, release your feet. Now come into a wide leg position. So you extend your heels out to the outer corners of your mat. Make sure you sit upright, so you kind of like lean with the sit bones back a bit instead of forward. Now if you notice that it's not really working for you, what you can do is bend more to your knees, or just again sit on a block or a book or something you can just easily like comfortable sit on. So once you found that position from the hips, from the pelvis, you're going to reach out through the arms on an inhale. On the exhale, come forward with a straight back and just reach with the hands to wherever they come. If you can come down towards elbows, you can drop towards elbows. And just release the upper body. Now for the ones of you really flexible, and if you can come down towards your forehead, you can play around with working towards coming with the chest down. And coming to your chin even maybe. And again, each inhale finding that length from the sit bones towards the top of your head. And every exhale you find that deepening of the posture, moving your chest a little closer to the mat. Make sure your toes are pointing up to the ceiling and the feet are not falling in or out, just straight up to the ceiling. Good. 4 more breaths in this posture. And good. From here, climb your hands back. If you were seated on a block, take it off to the side and then bring your hands to the outside of your knees. Gently bring your legs back to close and make your way to the long ends of your mat again. So your toes are close to the outer end of your mat. Bring the arms in line with the floor and the mat. And then slowly start climbing your way down to the mat. Good. When your shoulders touch the mat, release the hands down, palms flat, close to your hips, and then walk your feet closer in until you can tickle your heels. Your feet are pointing a bit in, so second toes pointing forward. Now from here, we're going to slowly lift our sit bones up. Now move your spine off the mat, and then coming towards your shoulders. Yeah, so press down through your palms as you move your chest towards your chin. Your knees right above your ankles. Now if you'd like to go deeper for this one, what you can do is either grab hold of your heels with your hands, or you can clasp your hands together into a bind. Good, so press down through the feet, wherever you are. If you do have the bind of the arms, see if you can press your elbows into the ground. 2 more breaths. And then as you exhale, come down to your spine. And then once your hips touch the mat, bring both of your knees into the chest. Roll gently over your back, left to right. Good. And then stick your feet up above your hips, flexing the feet. Bring the arms back down next to your hips, palms pressing flat. Now you can even stay here if you don't have any issues with high blood pressure or something going on like an injury in your neck. What you can do is on your next inhale, lift up with your hips, bring your hands on your low back and then point your toes towards the ceiling for shoulder stand. Now very important, I like to note here that whenever you enter a shoulder stand, you do not look around you. So if you want to check something in the video, just hit the pause button and just quickly check. Well, don't move your head in the shoulder stand to avoid any injury on the neck. Instead, just look at your toes towards your belly button or somewhere along the center line of your body. Good. From here, slowly release your legs overhead. Toes touch the mat. And here, having your toes pointing into the ground, or keep pointing your toes backwards. And here, keep your hands in your low back to find more support. Coming with your hands into the bind. And for a bit more challenging variation, just like we did in the third variation in our bridge pose. Keep lifting the sit bones up to the ceiling. Full breaths. Good. From here, release your hands if they're in the bind, and then slowly curl back, one vertebra at a time, towards your back. When your back is touching the mat, start bending your knees. Grab hold of the outsides of your feet for happy baby pose. Gently rocking left or right, and close your eyes if you like. Good. From here, bring the knees into the chest, arms around your thighs. Keep rolling left to right. Good. And keep your right knee hugging as you extend your left leg all the way down to the mat. Extend your right arm to the right. Rotate your head so you can look at your right hand. And then your left hand comes to the outside of your right knee. And then on your exhale, roll the lower body towards the left as you pluck down through your right shoulder. Just a gentle spinal twist. Letting go of any pulling or pushing as you allow gravity to take over. Good. Last deep breath. And slowly make your way back to center. Bring both knees into the chest. Now keep your left knee in. Extend your right leg out. Move your left arm to the side. Rotate your head so you can look at your left hand. And then with your right hand on the outside of your left knee, roll the left knee all the way towards the right. Spinal twist on the other side. And again, don't pull, don't push. Just allow gravity and your breath to do the work for you. You can close your eyes if you like to even dive deeper into that relaxation. Good, last deep breath. And make your way back to center. Extend your left leg next to right. Adjust the positions of the arms, adjust the position of the legs until your arms have the same direction as your legs. From there, press down through the feet and through the upper part of the arms as you lift your hips off the mat. Squeeze your glutes. And then exhale, release your hips back down. Soften the glutes as you allow your legs to flare out. Now from here, we're going to press down through the head. Elevate your shoulder blades off the ground. Roll the shoulders back. Slide your hands a bit further down and back for a few centimeters. And then release back to your spine. Tuck your chin a bit in towards the throat so you lengthen through the back of the neck. And then close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose to fill the lungs as much as you can. And then exhale, sigh through the mouth, letting go all the air out of your lungs. 2 more like that. Inhale deeply, fill your lungs. Exhale through the mouth, release. One more time, fill the lungs, lengthening the body. And release, soften the body. And then end of your exhale, close your lips. Allow your breath to normalize as you relax your tongue. Relax the jaw, the cheeks, muscles behind your eyes, and the skin between the eyebrows. Relax your forehead. The muscles around your skull, around your ears, back of your neck, front of your neck. Relax and soften your shoulders. Relax the upper arms, your elbows, your low arms, your wrists, your hands, and all of your 10 fingers. Just allow the arms to get heavy and to sink down into your mat. And then soften and relax your chest. Soften and relax your upper back. Relax your belly. and your low back. Relax your hips, your bum. Just allow your whole upper body to rest down into your mat. Relax your upper legs. Soften your knees. Relax your lower leg, your ankles, your feet, all the way down to the tips of your toes. And then allow your legs to get heavy and to sink down into the surface underneath you. Just allow your whole body to soften and rest. As you feel the body become softer and to sink down to the floor. You can also sense a lightness, almost as if your body is kind of start to float. So see if you can find that release. So deepening your breaths again. Allowing your awareness to come back to the sounds around you, to any sensations of the body. Maybe you can feel the warmth or the cold on your skin. Maybe you can feel soft breeze on your skin. And then gently start wiggling the fingers, wiggling your toes. So circling your ankles and your wrists, just gently. Good, and from here bring your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers, bring your feet together. And then on a big inhale, stretch your body out, lengthening from your feet to your hands. And then as you exhale, bring both knees gently back in to the chest, arms around the thighs. As you gently roll left to right, massaging your low back. And from here, roll over to the left side of your body. Rest here in a fetus position. Eyes are still closed. And then from here, slowly make your way back to a cross-leg position. Hands are in front of your heart. Taking that calmness with you, which you just so nicely dove into. Maybe you can feel the heartbeat against the thumbs, or maybe just the warmth of the air passing over your fingers. Two signs that you're alive and you're in the present. Good, and take a moment here to thank yourself for making the time to be here today, for making time to work on your mental and physical strength, your mental and your physical flexibility, and your mental and physical health and overall well-being. Thank you for joining this practice. Namaste.